What is going on, everybody? The original Mako back with another deck talk, and as you can tell by the title of the video, today we are doing Tristan with some gameplay at the end. We did get the recording set up for that. Is it the best quality? No, but it's not bad. We're going to continue working on it, but there is some gameplay of this deck at the end going up against a Wind Seryu Guoja. So, fun matchup there, but regardless, Tristan was the first deck that really got me into the game. Me and my friend, who I play with in the video, we bought the starter decks at our LGS because we saw them. We were like, oh, that looks interesting. Tried it out. The Jin and the Kong Ming starter deck. Had some fun, but Kong Ming starter deck was not very competitive. So got the Recollection deck, got the Tristan one, ended up taking that to locals, and that was the first deck that I really upgraded and made somewhat competitive. And now I'd say it's probably my most competitive deck, most consistent deck. Suited is kind of up there right now, but that's kind of a meta thing. Like I said, like Tristan is just always in the meta. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the list. We're going to talk some of the cards, and then like I said, at the end we'll have some gameplay. I'll try not to spend too much time on the cards here, but we'll go through them, and then hopefully you guys you'll be able to see the gameplay at the end. So Spirit of Wind, we're obviously on Wind Tristan. Don't think I've ever seen another element Tristan. I'm sure that's been played many times. I just haven't seen it. So we're on Tristan underhanded. I mean, almost always in this deck, you're going to be picking the prep counters. Maybe in some very niche cases where, I don't know, you think you're about to die next turn or whatever, you need the Agility 3, you go Agility 3, but almost always the prep counter. Tristan level 2, if 2 or more prep counters, draw a card. If 4 or more, draw an additional card. You most of the time want to be waiting until you have 4, because then if you have to force a level up with no floating memory, you're getting the cards back, you're even. And if you have floating memory, you're getting at least 1 extra card, if not 2, if you level up for free. So it's not too hard to get to 4 prep counters pretty quickly by around the time you'd be going to turn 2 anyway. So yeah, usually want to get that 4 prep counter mark. Tristan Shadow Dancer, not playing Shadow Reaver in here. Obviously, this is you get the 2 Ominous Shadows, which just massively bolsters your defense, and it enables some of your, one of your massive game winners. But yeah, that second ability, removing 2 prep counters to change the target of an attack, extremely useful. Next up, we've got Assassin's Ripper. This one's pretty obvious as well. For people who've played the game, let's say maybe you're newer to the game, Assassin's Ripper has a really, really good combo with one of the other cards that we will talk about later, which is Slice and Dice. But essentially, you can remove a prep counter from your champion, and it gets +2 attack until the end of turn. Combine that with Slice and Dice, and you can have a 15 damage turn for 4 prep counters. So like I said, we'll go into that combo a little later if you're new and you don't know that one, but definitely want to have an Assassin's Ripper in here. Backup Charger for some card draw. That's all that's in here for. You can get some use out of the Power Cell in this deck. Very, very unlikely, but it is possible. I'm playing Blinding Orb in this version right now. I'd maybe be swapping this for a Terrafring with the current meta, but then again, the meta just changed. So, or not Terrafring, Safeguard Amulet, sorry. Terrafring's in here, as you can see. Just for, in case you need the extra, or probably it would have been Censor, but the meta changed. So, I don't know, Blinding Orb's pretty good, though. Your opponent has to put 2 cards down. If they're holding up interaction, they no longer have that interaction. So maybe I would keep Blinding Orb in here right now. Like I said, in the previous meta, probably would have put Censor of Restful Peace in instead, but that meta does not exist anymore because Ryle is gone. Emergent Dagger, this one's probably the biggest kind of what's this doing in here? Look, I'm going to be honest, it has the similar effect of Assassin's Ripper. If you're level 2, it just gets +2 automatically. I've had a couple of times when I've just dungeon guided to 2. I brought this out, dungeon guide to 2, Slice and Dice. They're not expecting it. Because, you don't have the 4 prep counters, so you only need 3 prep counters to pull that one off. I like it a lot. A lot of people don't really play it and would rather have another tech piece in here, which, I makes sense. A lot of players are a lot better than I am, but I just like Emergent Dagger. I've liked how it felt, so I keep it in here. Grand Crusader's Ring is the Divine Relic, really good. I don't think I need to explain that one too much. Obviously, you could play Quicksilver Grail, but GCR is just very nice. Tariff Ring, a lot of aggro right now. Definitely want to have a Tariff Ring in here. Windwalker Boots, really good way to start amassing prep counters early. Also gives you card draw later in the game. Very, very nice. And Shadow's Claw, once again, being able to pull this out automatically when you have 4 or more prep counters is just ridiculous. Your Fantasia, your Shadows can attack with it. And when they do, it basically puts a durability right back on it, so it doesn't really use a durability, technically. Being able to materialize this for free by the time you hit Tristan level 3, it's just a phenomenal card. So that's the material deck. Nothing too crazy in there. Pretty straightforward to play, honestly. And now let's get into the main deck. 4 dungeon guides. We're trying to get to level 3 pretty quick. Very often you're going to go level 2 dungeon guide into level 3, get your shadows out there, and all of a sudden you are in a much better position and in a very beefy position in the game. So definitely 3 dungeon guides, highly recommend. This list right now has 3 incapacitates, run 4. Incapacitate's just a very, very good card. I had to. This list has to be exactly what I played in the game, because it wouldn't make any sense if I was playing cards that weren't in the list. But I will be running 4 incapacitates in the deck moving forward. Being able to negate a target card activation for 2 cost, it's just really good. Mastermind Scheme, a way to get closer to one of your win conditions. It has efficiency, so at level 3, it only costs 3, and it doubles the amount of prep counters on your champion. And if there are 8 or more prep counters, you get agility 3 for the turn, which just lets you pick up 3 cards that you put down from your memory at the end of your turn, meaning you can have a lot more interaction, which wind does tend to have a lot of interaction, and you usually want to have a lot of cards in your hand. So agility, nice. Double prep counters, nice. 4 Sables, great card. Class bonus, which once you're level 1, you will have class bonus. You get +1. This is the automaton in the list, so if you have your power cell, you could give it +2 attack. And it's got floating memory. So your opponent kind of has to deal with it, because 2 chip damage every turn, maybe 4 if you have 2 of them out. That's going to add up very quickly. And if they deal with it, now you got floating memory. Can let you get to level 1 for free, can let you get to level 2 +1 or +2. So just a really, really good card. Sadie, however you pronounce it, however you want to pronounce it. Once again, if I had 4 of these, I'd be running them. I only have 3. I've not gone and shelled out for the 4th one. It's an expensive card because it is a very good card. It's a 2/2 unit, which is, for 2/2 for 3. But you can pay 2 to bounce it to your hand and put a prep counter on your champion. So if your opponent tries to deal with it in any way, pretty much, if you have 2 cards in your hand, you can say, nope, I pay 2, she's coming back to my hand. You get a prep counter on your champion for doing that, which is what you want to be doing anyway, and your Saudi is still alive. So it's, once again, very, very, very good card. Next up, we have Slice and Dice, which is the early game win condition for this deck, and I'll explain sort of the combo with Assassin's Ripper here that I mentioned earlier in case you're new. Prepare 3, so that means you have to remove 3 preparation counters from your champion, and on hit, if it was prepared, you may have the attacker declare an additional attack. If you do, create a copy of Slice and Dice in that attacker's intent, except it isn't prepared, and it gets +3. So essentially what this is saying is if you use this prepared, you create a copy of the Slice and Dice attack that gets +3. So if you don't have any weapons involved at all, the first Slice and Dice would be 3 damage, the second one would be 6 damage, total of 9 damage. But if you've got the Assassin's Ripper with +2 until end of turn, or you're level 2 and you have the Emergent Dagger out, now all of a sudden both of those attacks are getting an additional +3. So the first slice and dice is actually now coming in for 6. The second one is coming in for 9. That's 15 damage. Once again, 15 damage sort of out of nowhere if your opponent's not prepared for it is backbreaking. So a very good early game kill line. Like I said, with the Assassin's Ripper, you only need to have 4 prep counters. 1 to get the Assassin's Ripper +2, and 3 to prepare the slice and dice. Now your opponent's probably going to be preparing for it, no pun intended. So a lot of times you really want to make sure you have like an incapacitate to back it up, or at least be holding up the amount of cards you would need to bluff that you would have an incapacitate. It might make your opponent think a little bit. They're probably still going to try to deal with it anyway, because once again, 15 damage is insane. But if you have an incapacitate, then a lot of the times there's not a ton they can do to stop it. So really nice there. Ace and Protector, next card. 3/4 with Intercept for 4. On enter, return target ally you control to its owner's hand. So really, the Intercept is nice. 4 damage, or 4 health is a beefy boy to get through, and there's a lot of units, a couple units in here that you really don't mind returning to your hand at all. It's actually, you get a lot of value out of returning it to your hand. So 3 of those in there. 2 arrow traps. You can prepare 1. Well, I guess return target attacking ally to its owner's hand. Then, if it was prepared, you can destroy that ally instead. That is a class bonus only. Really good against any sort of big threats. So, for example, the big Fate Stones, the Seryus, the Genbus, the Suzakus, all of those things really useful against, especially unprepared, because, you know, or I guess either way, Suzaku, you don't really want to prepare it. But unprepared, it goes back to the hand, which means it leaves the field, so it goes back into the material deck, and it can be very hard for them to get another materialization of that Fate Stone ally again. So just a really good card for those, but also can just be a good card for just staying alive in general against aggro, and dealing with threats in a way that, you know, opponents aren't ready for. Next up, Black Market Broker. Assassin Human, 2/3 for 4. On enter, put a prep counter on your champion, and it has stealth as long as your champion has 3 or more prep counters. So a 2/3 with stealth is really, really good and difficult to deal with. But really, just the on enter, putting a prep counter on your champion is very, very good. A super useful card to have in the deck. Next, we have 1 Dream Fairy. I'd probably run 2. Once again, if I had to. I don't have 2. So I only have 1. So I do have 1 in here. Really good against the Senju allies. Once again, the Genbus, the Seryus, all of those, Suzakus. Dream Fairy is really good against those, but also good at just getting rid of other threats. Arthur, anything that you do not want to see on the field, Dream Fairy will take care of it. And like I said, it's very hard to deal with because it's got the stealth. So I'd probably play 2 if I had another one, but I don't. So we only have 1. Fairy Whispers, really good, just 1 cost wind card, fast speed. You can glimpse 3 and then reveal the top card of your deck. If it's wind, put it into your hand. Decent amount of wind cards here. Not often are you going to whiff on 3 in a row. So usually this card's gonna be even. It replaces itself, and it's a 1 cost wind card. Can help you get the exact pieces you need. Really, really good. Then next, 4 Reclaims. Return target ally you control to its owner's hand. But another big thing here, it's got floating memory. So like I said, there's some allies that you really don't mind returning to your hand at all. And the floating memory is very nice, especially if you have a turn 1, you get one of those allies out. Then at the end of your opponent's turn, you reclaim, bring the ally back, and now you have floating memory. You go to 1 for free. Just a all-around good card. If your opponent's trying to deal with something, you can reclaim it, you get the float. Just a really useful and good card. I like having 4. 3 Stifling Traps. Once again, this is one I might be putting to 4. It's a 2 cost, fast speed, deal 2 damage to target ally, then negate all on-enter triggers from that ally. And if it's not your turn, you can remove 2 prep counters from your champion to activate it from memory without paying its reserve cost. So you can kind of surprise your opponent if they kind of forgot or wasn't thinking about the Stifling Trap from memory. But really just being able to negate on enters is pretty good. If you're newer to the game, then I'd say, at least especially for me, when I first was playing the game, one of the most difficult things to learn with Tristan was when and what do I Stifling Trap. Because some on enters are much better than others. For example, Stifling Trap against the Dungeon Guide, that feels pretty darn good, let me tell you. So definitely something you want to learn, and just the best way to do that is just by playing, practicing, and figuring out, oh, that thing's on enter wasn't very fun. I don't really want to deal with that again. So next time you'll know to Stifling it. So really good card though. Surveil the Wind's a pretty, just it does everything you want it to do. Once you have class bonus unlocked, it's fast speed. You draw a card, put a prep counter on your champion. Easy. Replaces itself, you get a prep counter. I don't know why you would ever not run 4 of these in a Wind Tristan level 3 deck. So pretty simple. Veiling Breeze, a wind staple here. There's a good amount of wind cards in this deck. So being able to reduce the amount of damage taken is very nice. Even if it's just 2, 3, I mean, that lasts for the whole turn. So against an aggro deck like Suited or something, I mean, that's just going to be very difficult to deal with. So really nice piece of interaction, and it's a 1 cost, so you don't even need to have that many cards in hand to have it ready. Next up, we have 1 Verdigris Decree. So this is another one where I'd probably run 2 of these if I had to, but I only have 1. But I do think having 1 in here is nice. You can give an ally you can do, if you imbue the card, which once again, there's a lot of wind cards, you can do up to 2. Suppress 1 target ally. Up to 1 target ally gets +2 until end of turn, and destroy up to 1 target Fantasia. So you have a little bit of Fantasia hate, which could be pretty useful. Giving an ally +2, pretty nice, and being able to suppress something that your opponent's attacking with, also quite nice. Just a kind of a Swiss Army knife type of card. It can give you a lot of different options. Might be worth just having this in the sideboard and throwing in one other thing, but I have it in the main for now. Once again, might be more of a sideboard card. Next, we have the Wind to Bless Lookout. Great card. Another card that just does everything you want, really. It's a 2 cost, so pretty cheap. 3 health, can kind of be annoying. On enter, put a prep counter on your champion, and then if your class bonus, you glimpse 1. So you get to glimpse, see what's on your deck, see if you want to keep it there or not, and you get a prep counter. A really good target for Reclaim, really good target for Ace and Protector. So 4 of those. The next card, another really good target for both of those things. Windmill Engineer, you imbue 2, and if it was imbued on enter, you draw a card into your memory, so a really good way to keep your influence up. Like I said, another really good Reclaim target, another really good Ace target. Then our next one is Zephyr. We have 3 Zephyrs in here. Is that right? 3? No, we have 2 Zephyrs. I was going to say 3 sounds a bit high. You can suppress target ally or regalia, important, because there could be some regalia that are, really problematic. Like if you have a Veiling Breeze in hand and your opponent has a Nullifying Mirror, suppress the Nullifying Mirror. I guess you'd have to do that at the right time because they can just tap it in response. So maybe that's not the best case scenario. But Censor of Restful Peace, being able to suppress that so you can use your float, what have you. Anyway, target ally or regalia just has multiple uses, which is super nice. And then, of course, we've got the big win condition for the deck. Shadowstrike. Prepare X for X, or X can't be 0. Shadowstrike gets +X. And if it was prepared, it is unblockable. So intercept, taunt, nothing. Can't happen. You can't intercept it. Go right through taunt. Really difficult card to deal with. Once again, because of the unblockable, it's a very, very difficult card to deal with, and it can do a lot of damage very easily. By the time you're level 3, you're almost certainly going to be around 5 prep counters. So you get to level 3, 5 prep counters, you can bring Shadow's Claw out for free. And let's say the only thing on board is, the two shadows you just brought out. You've got Shadow's Claw, and you've got 5 prep counters. You prepare 5. This does 9 damage, 10 if you attack with the Shadow's Claw. And then each shadow does 2 damage attacking with the Shadow's Claw. So right now that's 14 damage for 2 cost. 2 cost, 14 damage. That's not bad, is it? So yeah, just a really, really good card. Super, a ton of fun to play, and yeah, that's the deck list here. Like I said, we do have some gameplay this time. I'm gonna keep working on the lighting, the camera, everything to keep getting it to better quality. But we do have the gameplay. We're gonna keep doing some gameplay stuff. I'm hoping to do some Echoes of Astra gameplay soon. With the print and play. So pretty excited about that. But hopefully you guys enjoy this game. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Let me know. I'm sure a lot of you have tried Tristan. Let me know what you think about Tristan. And like I said, we'll have some more deck talks going soon, and a couple of other series that I'm thinking about starting, which should be pretty fun. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of that Grand Archive or Echoes of Astra or soon Riftbound content coming your way, or any other Rogue TCG stuff. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the gameplay. Hopefully you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will catch you all in the next video. Peace. Seven, 8. All right. Go ahead. Six,
Go 1 for a whirlwind threads. The quest counter on my champion.
Okay.
And an object was not suppressed, so that part doesn't matter.
Okay.
And past you.
Wind. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 for turn. Two for a Wind Blast Lookout. I get the prep counter. I will not get the glimpse class bonus. Swing 1. And pass.
Banish an arrow trap. Go to level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-rec, pay 3 for Journey's Beginning. Draw a card, get a quest counter.
Yep.
And then I'll go to Recollect and draw for turn.
Mm-hmm.
E for Fate Stone of Progress.
Okay.
Enter, get a quest counter. And then go to the end of my turn. I will banish a card at random. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
5, 6. Crystallize Destiny. Draw a card and get a quest counter.
Yeah. At the end of your turn, I'm going to pay 2, reclaim. Bring this back. Go to my turn, banish the float, level up, on enter, prep counter. And then wreck, draw. Two for a Sable. And then 2 for the Wind Bless again. I'm going to go to 3, glimpse 1. Oof. I will keep that on top. Swing 2.
Yep.
Swing 1.
Go to 4.
Pass.
At the end of your turn, I pay 2 for a baby green.
Okay.
I'll suppress this.
Yeah.
And then go to my turn, it'll come back.
Yep.
Get a quest counter, go to 5. I grab GCR.
Mm-hmm.
Recollect, and you're all for turn.
Yep.
Pop GCR. Draw a card. I'll swing 1 at Sable.
Sable will die.
Do for another baby green slime.
Okay.
I'll suppress my Fate Stone Progress.
Mm-hmm.
Swing at you for 1.
Yep, go to 1.
I'll go to the end of my turn. I'll have this come back. I'll get a quest counter.
Mm-hmm.
This will trigger. I'll go even odd.
Mm-hmm.
Even. Winds of Destiny. Draw a card. Get the quest counter.
Okay. Go to my turn. Wake up. Um, I don't know what to do. I'll get the Windwalker boots. Wreck. Draw. Um, 2 for another Sable. Swing 2 at face.
I'll go to 6.
1 more at face.
Go to 7.
Pass turn, end of turn, boots trigger, go to 4 prep counters.
Grab the Tengu.
Mhm.
Enter, go to 8 quest counters. Pre-rec. I'll pay 3 into it to draw a card to memory.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to recollect and draw for turn.
Mm-hmm.
Playing 1 at the Sable.
He'll die.
And 1 at Tristan.
Go to 2.
I don't know if this is worth, but I'm going to do it. 6 for a besieged Fate Stone.
Okay.
Go to level 2. I'll let you pick. Pick 2.
Yeah, these 2. Craggy and Biagos.
Get 2 quest counters from that. So I'll go to 10. And then her on enter. Since I'm already at 10, I think I'm just going to take the draw card.
Okay.
And go to the end of my turn. I'm not going to trigger that and just pass it to you.
Okay. Wake up. I will banish the 2 float. Go to 2. On enter 4 prep counters, so I will draw 2. That's fine. Wreck, draw for turn. 3 dungeon guide.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for what to keep. Keep the first one. Slice and dice. Reclaim. Go to 3 on enter prep counter. 2 shadows. I'll go ahead and grab the Shadow's Claw for free. Swing Dungeon Guide for 1 at face.
Go to 8.
Swing the Lookout for 1.
Go to 9.
Swing Tristan for 1 using the Shadow's Claw.
Go to 10.
Shadow for 2.
12.
Shadow for 2.
14.
Go ahead.
Damn it. Should have flipped that. That's not good. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Harness Lightning. I'll go Faded Keepsake. On enter draw card.
Yeah.
And then I will recollect. You're all for turn. I'll go ahead and remove my quest counters.
Yep.
Flip. How many cards do you have?
5 in hand. 1 in memory.
Start swing 2 at you.
Yep. Go to 4.
I'll go 1 for Harness Lightning.
Okay.
Give him +4. Two for Bestial Frenzy. Give him +1 more and Cleave.
Yep. Fine.
And I'll attempt to swing for 9 with Cleave.
I'll pay 2 for an arrow trap. Not prepared.
That goes where?
I believe it goes back to memory anytime it leaves the field.
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. Wake up. Let's grab GCR. Rec. Draw. Pop. GCR. Draw. Two for Shadowstrike. Prepare 3. So it'll be 7 face.
Yep, go to 21.
Swing with the shadow.
Yep.
Okay.